Is the Nike SB line actually skate versions of their more iconic sneakers, or are they just relics of a former functional Nike past when they actually made skate shoes that were made to be skated through the 2000s and really helped Nike out in a hard time? We're gonna find out by cutting apart this Jordan 4 SB, run it through our test to really see if the SB line is any different than the regular sneakers. Do the changes they make, if they make any, make it more skate ready? Are they actually skatable? Is the SB just a marketing tactic or actually functional? And ultimately, is Nike SB just BS? And to really test that, Sam, who's been skating in these and really testing them, is gonna help with this video because he's our resident skater, our best skater in the shop, and he actually tested them. So what is this shoe? Well, the brand is Nike SB X Air Jordan. The style is the 4 Pine Green. They weigh 1 pound 4 ounces. They retail for $225, but they resell anywhere from like $320 to like $800. And they're made in China. And the way they position this is joining forces once more, Nike SB and Jordan tweaking the AJ4 design so you can skate all day and land big tricks. First, we brought back the 89 shape around the toe box for improved fit and an impeccable flick. Then we focused on the deconstructed upper, adding flexible plastic detailing to keep them supple for long sessions. Nike Air in the heel lets you handle epic stair counts, and because grip matters, zonal gum rubber on the outsole adds traction where you need it most. That feels and sounds like somebody that doesn't know how to skate wrote a skate description.
I'm Sam. You might recognize me from such things as working behind the scenes of Anvil and answering emails and never having seen me before. Now, skateboarding kind of has a long history of cannibalizing non-skate footwear to wear on foot. A lot of the most popular models today have come from like the Nike and Jordan basketball lineups of the 80s and 90s. They're just like perfect for skating. It was before skate shoes really existed. Everything was canvas and rubber, and then all these basketball shoes are leather. They have a nice rubber cup sole with like herringbone traction that just made it super good for skating. The Jordans specifically would like re-release 10 years or so after they would come out for the first time. So like Jordan 1s, Jordan 2s, 3s, 4s, all the early models would all re-release in the 90s, kind of to mid sales, and then skaters would pick them up off discount racks and use them for skating. Nike and Jordan kind of have like this history of being in the skate world without actually making skate shoes. So in 2002, when Nike started to make skate specific shoes, they were making like upgraded models of popular basketball shoes that skaters used, especially like Dunks were super big. They make the SB Dunks. Blazers got picked up. All the most popular styles of Nike would get like this SB upgrade. With all these SB upgrades came these crazy collabs with Nike SB, and Jordan would occasionally do them. It was mostly on the 1. The Jordan 1 would get some Nike SB crossover here and there. I think Eric Costin, he's a famous pro skateboarder, got a model on the 1. Through like 2019 to like 2022, all these Nike SB collabs were just getting insane. Stuff like the Chunky Dunky was just getting super popular. It's not really a skateboarding upgrade. It's definitely all cosmetic. It just looks really cool, but no one's gonna skate in these. Skaters didn't buy them because they're getting bought up by collectors and resellers trying to make a quick buck. I know, because I worked at a skate shop when all of these super popular ones were coming out, and people would drive like 12 hours to have a chance to get some shoes like this. Definitely not a skater. A skater's not gonna spend $1,000 resell to skate some shoes. That was kind of getting to a fever pitch around 2022. It started kind of dying off, and then Nike SB and Jordan announced they were gonna collab on the Jordan 4, which was the first model of Jordan to get an SB upgrade. It had always been done on the 1 previous. It just kind of blew up. I mean, it is obviously going to be made for collectors and sneakerheads and resellers and not really skaters. When they came out in 2023, they were instantly snapped up, bought up by everybody, put immediately on the resale market. I think the prices are like $450 to like $600 to get a pair of these. I guess we'll see if these are an actual upgrade, if they're more like a Chunky Dunky style upgrade where it's all for collectors and all for show. I guess we'll move on to Weston doing the leather because he's the leather daddy.
So now start looking at the materials of this, which matters a lot for skateboarding because skateboarders are notoriously rough on shoes because they're literally flicking around on just sandpaper. Like skateboards are covered in sandpaper, so it's just as the worst thing you could do to a sneaker. And for most skate sneakers, you see a ton of suede because even though suede is cut through that lower cross section and a cheaper part of the cross section of leather, that rough side is super abrasion resistant because their tiny little suede fibers almost move around the grip tape versus regular leather that has that grain side out, which is the smooth side that you mostly associate with leather. It has a super tight fiber structure, which is part of what makes leather so beautiful. It's part of what makes it so strong, but it is not as abrasion resistant as suede. So is this suede or is it rough out? Well, 99% of skate shoes are going to be suede, and that's exactly what this is. You can see from the cross section it doesn't have that grain pattern, which is totally fine because it's more affordable to, well, kind of with this shoe. But most skate shoes, they use suede because it's more affordable, and you get a lot of the benefits from that rough out without needing the extra expense and thickness of a true rough out. And it's surprisingly thick too. It's like 1.8 millimeters thick versus the thinner leather in 1.5 to 1.2 in the regular Jordan 4s. But the biggest difference between the two is the amount of leather in the shoe. Because if you remember the regular Jordan 4s, the eye stay is fake leather, the upper, like all through here, is fake leather. But the SBs, fortunately, have zero fake leather on them. So bravo, Nike. At least one shoe is all leather. There's no fake leather shoehorned in here or shoved in here anywhere. So at least we got that going for us.
All right, so if we go to the insoles, a lot of the Nike SB upgrades of shoes, like in the Dunks and the Blazers, all they do is throw an insole that has a little tiny Zoom Air packet in it and call it good to go. It's like made out of suede and has this in it, and suddenly it's a huge skateboarding upgrade, but it's small, it's tiny, it doesn't do much, but it's definitely, you know, it's an upgrade, barely. You can call it an upgrade. So if we look at the Jordan 4 original insole, it's just kind of like a closed cell foam, nothing special, textile topped, nothing insane, just like a normal insole you'd see in any other sneaker. And if we pull out the Jordan 4, it has the Nike Dream Cell insole, which is just kind of like a closed foam. It's supposed to be super comfortable and make a huge difference. When I was wearing them, I couldn't really feel a difference between the two. It's allegedly better. So we threw it on the ball drop test to see if there was more cushion, less cushion. So the normal Jordan 4, when we did the ball drop test, it bounced up 11.8 inches, and with the SB, it bounced up 10 inches. So it might dampen your impact a little more. I mean, they're so close. It's within like 2 inches. Take that for what it's worth. It's slightly upgraded for skating. Moving on to the midsole, which is really what's going to take all that impact. The alleged difference is that the SB version has a softer midsole to absorb bigger impacts. I don't know, in basketball, you're only jumping like, I don't know, if you're jumping over 40 inches, you're insane, and probably in the NBA. So you're not taking like crazy impacts, super tall, so you don't need as soft as a midsole, you probably want more response. So in skating, when you are doing like the bigger impacts, if you're doing anything like over 10 stairs, which is terrifying, you're going to want more impacts to save your feet, save your knees, and help you. So looking at them, they both have the heel air unit in them. Not only a noticeable difference from the outside, I guess we'll see when it gets cut inside to see if there's more of a difference there. I know this one does have a toe air unit in it. I would assume this one does too, because I mean, it's probably too hard to make separate tooling for it. But their midsoles are both just foam, probably PU foam or EVA foam. We took the durometer measurement. The normal non-SB comes in at 20 Shore A, and the SB comes in around 13 Shore A, so it's definitely softer, and that's technically a skateboarding upgrade. I mean, it's pretty close. You're not gonna feel a huge difference unless you're skating in these all the time, doing big drops, and you know very specifically what that feels like. When I was skating in them, I didn't really feel a difference. You just feel foam. It just feels like you're wearing a big block of foam at the end. It kind of feels like you're running in sand because there's just so much cushion in there as well. So from my experience, it didn't feel wildly different from the two. Another Nike upgrade where it meets the bare minimum definition of an upgrade, but it's still technically there. The cons of having a softer insole are gonna be, you're gonna lose a ton of board feel. You're just be more like feeling the cushion. It's gonna be kind of hard to ollie, but it will be good to land. Speaking of board feel is the outsole. The alleged differences of the outsole is that it uses a softer compound in at least the toe and at least the heel for like better flick, better traction, just overall better grip. Putting it to the test, we took some durometer measurements. The normal toe comes in at 60 Shore A, and the SB toe also comes in at 60 Shore A. No difference there from the outside. So we took a measurement of the heels. The normal heel comes in from like about 75 Shore A, and the SB heel comes in at also about 75 Shore A. So not a difference, not an upgrade. And that was like one of the biggest selling points of the shoe is like, yeah, it's upgraded so you can have all this grip on your toe. Honestly, there's no difference, and it was pretty slick to skate on. I mean, it felt like you were skating on really hard rubber, and you would pivot and turn and not really feel where your foot is. I try and do ollies, and like my foot would just slip off the side of the board because there just felt like there was no traction at all. I don't know how people skate in this shoe with that kind of traction, but obviously people do. It's not an upgrade, so Nike, I guess you're busted. We ran the puncture test as well to see if there was really a difference. So the normal outsole punctured through, it took 99 pounds, which is kind of in the middle of all tests. It's nothing crazy. It's like a sneaker. So we punctured the SB version and it took 80 pounds. So technically, I guess that makes it softer. There's not a crazy difference there. I mean, it's only 19 pounds difference on on a garage science test. So I honestly couldn't feel a difference. It felt super slick. You'd almost have no grip and your foot would just be slipping all over the place when you're doing it, which was tough. Going to probably the most important part of any skate shoe is the construction. There's two main parts of construction for skate shoes. There's vulcanized, which is more like this blazer where they'll glue a piece of rubber to the upper and then wrap a piece of rubber around the outside called foxing, and then they throw it in a big oven to bake. And then there's the cupsole camp, which is something like this where you have a cupsole and you literally just like glue it to the bottom. Sometimes you sew, sometimes it's glue, sometimes it's injection molded. There's not really a difference in the way that these two are constructed. I think they're both just injection molded or compression molded foam with an outsole glued on. There is a stitch on both of them here. One thing about it is that on the normal one, there's this foam that kind of comes up. That's like right where you ollie and right where you do all of your tricks. So the SB version, it's weird that they kept that because it's just foam. On the side that I actually skate in, it's like my dominant foot, you can see how much this ate away so fast. I mean, it's already kicking through. I skated in these for maybe 10 hours, 10 to 20 hours, and that foam is already going away. So that's gonna wear away super fast, and I'm really hoping it's a double layer in there, or else you're gonna eat through your shoe in like a couple weeks, which sucks, especially if you pay $600 for resale for this shoe. So that's weird. Skating these things, I was like skating in two toasters. There's no board feel. You couldn't feel where your board is. I could barely even skate in these. I could ollie in them. I could kickflip in them. I mean, it was really good for flick, but there's no board feel and it's super slick rubber. All of the skate upgrades are kind of falling short for me right now. It's just seems like it's a Jordan 4 with suede on it. For the construction, for being a cupsole, it was like the most cupsole I've ever skated. There is zero board feel. I mean, like there's literally air right there. You're not gonna feel anything. Like when you're trying to go up and like pivot on mini ramps or like quarter pipes, your foot kind of slips off and then you don't really know where your foot is anymore on the board because you can't feel it. So I guess we'll cut it in half and we'll see if there's anything sneaky on the inside that actually makes it a skate upgrade, or if it's just kind of falling flat like it is for me. So back to Weston, I guess, for the cutting.
All right, we got them cut in half, and these were expensive. So if you don't mind just taking a little mouse, pushing the subscribe button, it's free and it helps us more than you can imagine. And huge shout out to Sam for hopping on the camera to help with this video, to actually give you guys real world experience in these shoes from somebody that actually uses them and knows enough about the function or the purpose of the shoe to actually judge them. So huge shout out to Sam. And now let's see what's inside. Is Nike SB just BS? Well, this one to me, it is. It's definitely not like a skate shoe platform to begin with. The Jordan 4, Sam and Jay hated skating them, and the changes they made are fairly minimal and really don't have that big of an impact on the skateability of the shoe. So for me, at least the Jordan 4 SB is pretty BS from a skateability aspect. But I do love the fact that Nike is actually changing some of their stuff, making it marginally better, no fake leather. But I just don't think many people are gonna buy these for skateboarding because of the platform, the price, all these different things we talked about. So it's a little BS to me. But would our resident skateboarder Sam recommend this shoe?
For my analysis of the shoe, is it actually upgraded for SB? Is it just another Nike like chunky dunky ploy for the resale market and the collectors? So out of all the things that I was testing to see if it was actually, skate worthy, is the insole upgraded at all? Kind of. I mean, it's the Dream Cell one. It might impact a little more skating, but really it's so minimal that it probably doesn't matter. Is the midsole an upgrade for skating? I mean, not really. I mean, it's just a little bit softer, which is going to take a little more impact, but the differences are almost negligible. They removed the toe air unit. You might even have less cushioning than what you did and just replaced with foam. Kind of a weird move to be like, it's upgraded to take the biggest, heaviest impacts. It's definitely not a skateboarding upgrade. The foam, kind of. It like meets the Nike definition of upgrade where it barely works. The outsole, all the alleged upgrades for the outsole, I think it's just the same outsole, honestly. I mean, the compound didn't test like it was. It felt super slippery and not good to skate in. Not really an upgrade. Bad upgrade if it was. My whole take on this is like, if you're jumping jumping down like 15 plus stairs regularly, you're probably going to want something like this because, I mean, just the way it's built, but it's not really an upgrade from the old one. You could just buy an old one. I wouldn't recommend this. They do look really good though. That's the problem, is they look really good on everyone's feet, even if you hate the way they look from the top down. So that's the one thing they got going for them, is the aesthetics. Not a skateboarding upgrade. Wouldn't recommend it. Hated skating in it. You might as well wear regular 4s instead of spending over $500 for a pair of shoes that you're obviously going to destroy. Avoid them. These are bad. Don't like skating in them. Nike sucks at upgrading SB shoes. So just buy something from a skater-owned company that's better. Let me know what you guys want to see out of like skate shoe reviews, or like any other skate content. Like what kind of tests you want to see. Any other brands that you really want to see tested. Make sure to subscribe because these things are expensive. This thing is like $600 to buy and skate and cut in half. Honestly, not worth it. So if you subscribe and watch, we can do more cool things like this. Comment below, and I guess I'll see you later. So that's it. I don't know how to end. I'm just gonna keep not ending. I'm gonna walk away and leave and be uncomfortable.